What's going on, y'all? We back again, back with another video. Hope y'all having a great day. Today we're gonna get into 3 ways to make your drums cut through the mix, man. First of all, I got this bang I just cooked up for the video. I'm gonna play it for y'all, let y'all hear it, then we're gonna get into it, man. So let's check it out. I'm really feeling this beat. I may add one more sound just to try to make it a little more realistic. I know at least, every beat is, for the most part, is at least probably gonna have at least 2 sounds, right? At least. So let's see if we can maybe just add one more sound in the background, right? Something like that, right? So when you want to get your drums cut through the mix, right? First thing I can tell you guys to do, make sure you level. So what I mean by that, don't have your sound up too. You don't have to turn your sound all the way down. Don't have your sound turned all the way up to where it's drowning out your drums. You don't want your sound to drown out your drums like that, right? So just make sure you level. Have your sound at a nice, mid-level relative to the drums. And make sure you turn your drums up, and it's all relative. Turn it up. You don't have to blast your drums to where they're all the way clipping or over clipping. When I say turn your drums up, I mean relative to the melody, right? Relative to the rest of your beat. So that's the first tip. Level and turn your drums up. You may have to turn your melody down a little bit if it's drowning out. It may not be drowning out the drums, but it may be. So I kind of like to take this fruity limiter off. I like to disable that so I can have my drums. Cause I like to kind of hear my stuff clipping. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm not really a mix engineer or anything like that. Once once you get to the finished product stage, you can handle all that. You can level everything better. But I like to turn my drums up, man. I like to make sure. You want to make sure, just like a general rule of thumb, especially in hip hop, you want your kicks and snares especially to be like hitting the hardest. Your kicks and your snares, so and 808 of course. So, but mostly your kick. You want your kick to hit kind of harder than your 808 because your 808 is kind of taking up somewhat of a different frequency than the kick. It's like the sub bass kind of. So you want that kick to hit right here. Turn that kick up. Make sure the 808 is thumping. Because once you have everything at the level that you want it to be at, if your mix and everything is clipping, you can route everything into his own mixer track down here and select them all and drag everything down at the same time. That way, everything is still at the same relative volume, but you're bringing it down all together. So that's one way to do it. If you're mixing and you're clipping and everything, just route everything to the mixer track and drag everything down just a little bit at the same time. So that's another tip for you guys. But after you got it rocking, I kind of like the level it's at. Second tip I would have for you guys to get your drums to cut through the mix. You want to EQ like your melody sometimes. It all depends on the situation, but usually I end up EQing my melody, like the main melody, especially if it's like a piano or something that takes up a lot of space. I'll come here, get the Fruity EQ, Fruity Parametric EQ too, right? So I'll come here, let's say, turn this into 1. I'll EQ some of the lows out, just because that's where the 808 is going to be hitting at. The 808 and the kick, right? I'll come here, change that to Steep 8. This is just exaggerated for you so you see the difference. Maybe somewhere around there. You don't want to EQ too much out of it. Sometimes I EQ a little bit of the highs out just to make room for the hats and the snare and everything, and also the artist's vocals. Make it throw this one in there. It probably doesn't really need EQing as much. I'll just route it to the same mixer track. Cool. The next tip that I have for you guys to get your drums to cut through the mix is EQ your drums if necessary, if they're not cutting through the mix. Right, so let me show you what I mean. I don't want to just tell you, I want to show you, right? So let's route the hi-hat to 2. And what I like to do is come down here to this little quick EQ right here. Just boost the hi-hat. It's mostly going to be this one right here. You see how it's cutting through the mix more? You can even turn it down a little bit now. And it'll still be cutting through. Same with the snare. The drum is a little more, like the kick is a little more sophisticated in a sense. So I'll go in and add an EQ on it. You could do it from the, let's try it out. Let's try it out from the quick EQ, right? Let's see. Just for kicks, right? No pun intended. But you hear that thumping? You see how that changes the whole beat to going from a beat that you like, it's a cool beat, but go to the next beat to, okay, yeah, I want that beat. You know what I mean? guys, those are the 3 tips I got for you guys to get your drums to cut through the mix. Level, make sure your melody is not drowning out your drums. Turn your drums up, do that when leveling. 2, EQ your melody to where you're making space for your drums. And 3, EQ your drums to where you're boosting the spots, that's gonna enhance the sound and volume of your drums, in the space that they're taking up. So like I say, like the kick is gonna be in this part of your EQ up here, your high. So the hi-hats is gonna be in your highs right here. So when you're doing a hi-hat, that's what you want to EQ, right? Like right here. So yeah, man, there you have it. I hope y'all enjoyed the video, man. I hope it helped y'all out. I just thought of it, thought I would share it with you guys, man. So I appreciate y'all for rocking with me, watching the whole video. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It'll help me out. I will see y'all in the next video, man. Until next time.